I, 44M, find myself in a complicated family situation that I need some outside perspective on. My late wife, Lisa, would be 42F, and I met during our sophomore year of college. We were both studying business and hit it off immediately over our shared love of 80s music and terrible horror movies. After graduation, we got married in a small ceremony surrounded by family and friends. We were young and in love, ready to take on the world together. For the first decade of our marriage, things were great. We both landed good jobs in finance, bought our first home, and started talking about having kids. Lisa was always the more cautious one, wanting to make sure we were financially stable before starting a family. I was eager to be a dad, but I respected her wishes. Finally, when we were both in our late 20s, Lisa felt ready. We were overjoyed when she got pregnant quickly. Our daughter Taylor was born healthy and beautiful. Those first few years as new parents were exhausting but magical. Lisa took to motherhood naturally, and I loved watching her bond with our little girl. As Taylor grew older, Lisa and I started to drift apart slowly. It wasn't any one big thing, just the usual stresses of work, parenting, and life. We both worked long hours to provide for our family, often passing like ships in the night. Date nights became less frequent, replaced by Netflix on the couch after Taylor went to bed. By the time Taylor was 12, Lisa and I were basically living separate lives under the same roof. We rarely fought, but there was no passion left either. We were co-parents and roommates more than husband and wife. I suggested couples counseling, but Lisa always had an excuse for why it wasn't a good time. Looking back, I should have seen the signs. Lisa started going out with work friends more often, always dressed up nicer than usual for the office. She became protective of her phone, angling the screen away when I walked by. I didn't want to be the jealous, suspicious husband, so I ignored my gut feelings. About 6 months before her cancer diagnosis, Lisa sat me down one evening after Taylor went to bed. She confessed that she had been having an affair with a coworker named Tom for the past year. I was blindsided and heartbroken. Lisa cried as she told me she had fallen in love with Tom and wanted us to separate so she could be with him openly. I was angry and hurt, but a part of me also felt relieved. Our marriage had been dead for years, and this finally gave us permission to end it. We agreed to tell Taylor about the divorce after her middle school graduation in a few months. In the meantime, we'd start quietly separating our finances and looking for new living arrangements. Then everything changed. Lisa found a lump during a routine self-exam. Within weeks, she was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. It had already spread to her bones and liver. The prognosis was grim from the start. All thoughts of divorce went out the window. Lisa ended the affair immediately, and we agreed to keep it a secret. We wanted to focus on her treatment and be there for Taylor. For the next 2 years as Lisa battled cancer, we put on a united front as a family. Those last 2 years were a roller coaster. Lisa fought hard, trying every treatment available. There were moments of hope when a new drug would shrink the tumors, followed by crushing setbacks. Through it all, Taylor was our rock. She was so strong, helping care for Lisa and keeping her spirits up. Looking back, I'm grateful we were able to give Taylor those last memories of us together as a family. Lisa and I may not have been in love anymore, but we did love each other as friends and co-parents. We laughed together, cried together, and made the most of the time we had left. When Lisa passed away, it hit Taylor hard. She was 13, just starting high school and dealing with all those teenage emotions on top of losing her mom. I did my best to support her, but I was grieving too. We muddled through that first year somehow, leaning on each other and our extended family. As time passed, I started to feel ready to move on. Taylor seemed to be doing better in school and with friends. I wasn't looking for a relationship, but then I met Allison, 39F, at a work conference about a year ago. She works for a partner company, so we had a lot in common to talk about. Allison and I really hit it off. She's kind, funny, and great with teenagers. She has a 17-year-old son from a previous marriage. We started dating casually at first, just grabbing coffee or lunch when our schedules allowed. As things got more serious, I introduced her to Taylor. Initially, Taylor seemed okay with Allison. They weren't best friends, but Taylor was polite when Allison came over for dinner or movie nights. I thought we were making good progress as a blended family. Last week, I sat Taylor down and told her that Allison and I were getting more serious. I wanted to be open with her about potentially having Allison move in with us in the future. To my shock, Taylor completely freaked out. She accused me of betraying Lisa's memory and moving on too fast. She called me selfish and said I clearly never loved her mom. I was blindsided by her reaction. In the heat of the moment, I blurted out the truth about Lisa's affair and our plans to divorce before her diagnosis. I immediately regretted it, but it was too late. Taylor was devastated and refused to believe me at first. She locked herself in a room and wouldn't speak to me for days. I feel terrible for shattering her image of her mother. But I also feel like at 16, she's old enough to understand the complexities of adult relationships. I don't want her to think I'm the bad guy for trying to find happiness again. Was I wrong to tell her the truth? Should I have kept Lisa's secret forever? To make matters worse, Lisa's family found out that I told Taylor. They are furious with me for tarnishing Lisa's memory and threatening to take me to court for custody. I don't think they have any grounds, but I'm worried about how this will affect Taylor. Lisa's family has always been very involved in our lives. Her parents live about an hour away and would often come stay with us to help out, especially during Lisa's illness. Lisa's brother, Mark, lives in the same city as us and has been like an uncle to Taylor. They've been a great support system, but now I worry they'll try to turn Taylor against me. I'm at a loss for what to do now. Taylor is barely speaking to me. Allison is supportive, but this has obviously put a strain on our relationship too. Lisa's family is on the warpath. I just wanted to move forward with my life, but now everything is falling apart. Aita for telling my daughter the truth. Update 1. It's been about 2 weeks since my original post, and a lot has happened. First, I want to thank everyone for their comments and advice. It really helped me gain some perspective on the situation. After giving Taylor some space for a few days, I tried to talk to her again. She was still upset but willing to listen. I apologized for blurting out the truth about her mom in such an insensitive way. I explained that I never meant to hurt her or ruin her memories of Lisa. We had a long, emotional conversation about relationships, forgiveness, and how people can make mistakes even when they love each other. Taylor asked a lot of questions about that time in our marriage. It was difficult, but I tried to be as honest as possible while still respecting Lisa's memory. I emphasized that despite our issues, Lisa was a wonderful mother who loved Taylor more than anything. We talked about how Lisa and I met in college, sharing stories from our early days that Taylor had never heard before. I showed her some old photos from when we were dating and first married. It was bittersweet to reminisce, but I think it helped Taylor see that our love had been real, even if it didn't last forever. I also opened up to Taylor about how lonely and disconnected I felt in the years leading up to Lisa's affair. I didn't want to make excuses, but I wanted Taylor to understand that these situations are rarely black and white. We talked about how hard marriage can be and the importance of communication. By the end of our talk, Taylor seemed less angry, but understandably still confused and hurt. She admitted that she had put her mom on a pedestal after her death, and learning about the affair made her question everything. I reassured her that it's okay to have complicated feelings and that Lisa's mistakes don't negate all the good she did as a mother. I suggested that we could try family counseling to work through this together. Taylor was hesitant at first, saying she didn't want to talk to a stranger about our problems, but after thinking it over for a day, she agreed to give it a try. We've had 2 sessions so far, and while it's been challenging, I think it's helping us communicate better. The therapist is helping Taylor process her complicated feelings about her mom and our family history. As for Lisa's family, things have not improved there. Her parents and brother are still threatening legal action. They've been calling and texting Taylor constantly, trying to turn her against me. I've asked them repeatedly to back off and let us work through this as a family. When they wouldn't stop, I had to block their numbers on Taylor's phone. She was upset at first, but agreed it was for the best right now. Lisa's brother Mark has been the most aggressive. He showed up at Taylor's school one day, trying to talk to her without my knowledge. Thankfully, the school called me and didn't let him see her. I've had to inform all of Taylor's teachers and coaches about the situation to make sure they don't let anyone unauthorized pick her up. I consulted a lawyer friend who assured me they have no grounds for a custody case. Taylor is 16 and old enough that her wishes would be taken into account by any court. Plus, there's no evidence that I'm an unfit parent. Still, I'm documenting everything just in case. I've started keeping a detailed log of all their attempts to contact us and any incidents like the school situation. Allison has been incredibly understanding and patient through all of this. She's given me and Taylor space to work on our relationship. We're still together, but taking things slowly for now. She even offered to join us for family counseling if Taylor is comfortable with that in the future. One bright spot in all of this is that Taylor has started opening up to me about other aspects of her life. It's like breaking this big secret has allowed us to be more honest with each other overall. She told me about some trouble she's been having with friends at school and asked for my advice. It meant a lot that she felt she could come to me with her problems. We've also started a new tradition of having Sunday brunch together, just the two of us. No phones allowed, just time to talk and connect. Sometimes we chat about serious things, other times we just goof around. It's become something I really look forward to each week. I know we still have a long road ahead, but I'm cautiously optimistic. Taylor and I are talking more openly than we have in years. I'm committed to rebuilding our trust and helping her heal. I just hope Lisa's family will eventually see that this isn't about taking sides, but about helping Taylor process a difficult truth. Update 2. It's been about a month since my last update. Things with Taylor have continued to improve slowly but steadily. We're still attending family counseling, and it's been really helpful for both of us. Taylor is gradually coming to terms with the complicated reality of her parents' relationship. She's asked to see some old photos and mementos from when Lisa and I were happier, which has led to some bittersweet but healing conversations. We spent an entire weekend going through boxes in the attic, sorting through Lisa's belongings that we had packed away after she died. It was emotional but cathartic. Taylor found her mom's old journals from college and asked if she could read them. I was hesitant at first, worried about what they might contain, but I decided to trust Taylor's maturity. Reading those journals has given Taylor insight into who her mom was as a young woman, beyond just being mom. The situation with Lisa's family, however, has escalated dramatically. Last weekend, they showed up at our house unannounced with a social worker. They were demanding to speak to Taylor and assess her living situation. I refused to let them in without proper documentation or a court order. Things got heated, and Lisa's brother Mark tried to force his way inside. In protecting myself and keeping him out, there was a scuffle, and he fell back, hitting his head on the porch railing. It wasn't serious, but he was bleeding. The social worker called the police and an ambulance. When the police arrived, Lisa's family tried to paint me as unstable and violent. Fortunately, our security cameras captured the whole incident. The footage clearly showed I was defending myself and my property. I wasn't charged with anything, but Mark was cited for attempted trespassing. The social worker interviewed Taylor separately. Taylor stood up for me, telling them she felt safe and wanted to stay with me. She also expressed how their constant interference was causing her more stress and pain. The social worker seemed satisfied that there were no immediate concerns for Taylor's welfare. This incident was the last straw for me. The next day, I filed for a restraining order against Lisa's family. The judge granted a temporary order based on the evidence of harassment and the attempted break-in. We have a court date in a few weeks to make it permanent. I hate that it's come to this, but I have to protect Taylor and our ability to heal as a family. Lisa's parents left a long, tearful voicemail begging to see their granddaughter. Part of me feels guilty, but I know we need this boundary right now. Maybe someday we can rebuild a relationship, but only if they can respect our family's autonomy. Allison has been my rock through all of this. She's been staying with us more often to help out and provide emotional support. Taylor is warming up to her slowly. They're not best friends yet, but there's a growing mutual respect. I'm grateful to have found someone so patient and understanding. One unexpected outcome of all this drama is that it's brought Taylor and me closer together. She's seen me fighting for our family, and I think it's helped rebuild some of the trust that was damaged. We've had some late-night talks where she's opened up about her fears and insecurities. I'm trying my best to listen without judgment and offer support where I can. Update 3. It's been 6 months since this all began, and I'm happy to report that things have finally settled into a new normal for our family. The restraining order against Lisa's family was made permanent. While it was a difficult decision, it has given us the space we needed to heal. Taylor has made incredible progress in therapy. She's able to talk about Lisa now with a mix of love and sadness, acknowledging both the good memories and the complicated truths. She even suggested we create a memory book together, filling it with photos and stories about Lisa. It's been a cathartic project for both of us. We've included some of Lisa's journal entries in the book, with Taylor selecting her favorite passages. It's given her a more complete picture of who her mom was, not just as a mother, but as a complex woman with her own dreams and struggles. I think it's helped Taylor realize that it's okay to love her mom while also acknowledging her flaws. Allison officially moved in with us last month. Taylor was initially hesitant but has come around to the idea. They've started having girl nights where they watch movies or bake together. It warms my heart to see them bonding. Allison is careful never to try to replace Lisa, but she's becoming an important part of our family in her own right. We had a small ceremony in our backyard last weekend to celebrate Allison moving in. It wasn't a wedding, but more of a family commitment ceremony. Taylor surprised us both by giving a touching speech about new beginnings and the different kinds of love that can coexist in a family. There wasn't a dry eye in the house. I know we'll always carry the weight of the past with us. Lisa will always be a part of our lives and our hearts. But I'm proud of how far we've come in working through the pain and building something new. Taylor is thriving in school and talking about college plans. I feel like I can breathe again, knowing that we're going to be okay. It's been a long, difficult road, but I don't regret telling Taylor the truth. It allowed us to build a more authentic relationship, one based on trust and understanding rather than idealized memories. We're stronger for having faced this together.